Hello children, how do you do? Hope you are fine and safe. I am also very fine and great, and today I am very glad to come back to you through these online e-learning classes again, and I would like to explain. Actually, I have explained already workbook paragraphs of first lesson, that is the snake and the mirror for you, but the workbook that I have and the workbook that you have are different, so I have decided to explain those workbook paragraphs of first lesson again. So please open your workbooks that you have, because I am going to explain the same questions similar to your workbooks which are in page number 29. Okay, so as I read the first paragraph, just please open the materials and look into the paragraph. First one: has a snake ever coiled itself around any part of your body? A full-blooded cobra. See here, it is a direct speech. You can observe inverted commas for the given paragraph, for the given line. So if you find inverted commas for any line, it means it is a direct speech. Somebody has spoken, has uttered that line directly with somebody else. So here, who addressed? Doctor told, or doctor asked this question to his friends. He told about his experience with the snake to his friends. That is the lesson we have already discussed, right? He explained, he described his experience, how he managed to escape from the snake, escape from the danger. He told his own story that happened at some point of time in the past to his friends. So he asked a question. He started the story, his real experience, with a question. My dear friends, has a snake ever coiled? Coiled means to turn round and round. See, a full-blooded cobra, it means a strong cobra, a violent cobra had coiled the doctor's left arm above the elbow, right? So as he experienced that, he asked his friends, did you ever feel the same like me? Once a snake coiled my left arm. Have you felt the same? Has a snake ever coiled your arms? He asked the question, that too a very strong cobra. So this was the paragraph, and let us move on to the questions. The first one: who is the speaker? So answer is very simple. As I already told, this line is addressed by homeopath doctor, and listeners are his friends, but that is not asked there, only the speaker. So here speaker is homeopath doctor. And let us move on to the second one. Who did the speaker address? It means with whom speaker was speaking. So speaker was speaking with his friends. So the speaker addressed his friends. And let us move on to the third one. What is the speaker? It means the profession, the job of the speaker. So he was a doctor, or you can write the speaker is a homeopath doctor. So this was the answer for the third question. And let us move on to the B, passage B under first Roman. The house was not electrified. It was a small rented room. I had just set up medical practice and my earnings were meager. I had about 60 rupees in my suitcase along with some shirts and dhotis. I also possessed one solitary black coat which I was then wearing. So this was the paragraph, and I already explained clearly while I was explaining the lesson. The house was not electrified. It means the house does not have a power connection, and he used to stay in a rented room. He started his medical practice. It means he established a small medical treatment room where he was taking rent in that room, and his earnings were very meager. It means very little. He was not earning much, and he had very 60 rupees in his suitcase. That is the proof for us. He is not rich. His earnings are very meager. How can we say that? That is the proof, because he had only 60 rupees. See, generally in the society, if somebody is a doctor, then everybody will think that doctors will be rich, right? Doctors will be having a lot of money. Everybody will think like that. But this doctor had only 60 rupees. So that is a strong evidence for us that we can say he is a very poor man. He is not earning much. His income, his earnings are very, very little. Okay. And then the contents in his briefcase. What are there? Shirts, dhotis, right? It is called a lungi, in especially in Tamil Nadu area. And he also had one solitary. Solitary means a single black coat which he was wearing when the snake landed on his shoulder. Let us move on to the questions. The first question is, whose house was not electrified? Very simple. It means in whose house power was not there. So very simple answer, in doctor's room or in doctor's house. Homeopath doctor's house was not electrified. Let us move on further. Which part of this passage indicates that? Indicate means show. Which part of the passage, it means which line or which phrase tells that, shows that the narrator had very limited income. Limited income means not much income, not much earnings. His earnings are very little, very meager. How can we say that? We have to give evidence. As I already told that, we can write that line as answer for this question. His earnings were meager. He had about 60 rupees in his suitcase. So by that two lines we can show a strong evidence that he was a poor doctor. He was not much rich person. Let us move on to the third one. According to passage, which word means single? So the word solitary means single. I am writing the word here. I already told meaning of this word in the first part of the video while explaining the lesson. So solitary means a single. He had only one black coat and he was wearing that black coat when this story happened in his life. Let us move on to the passage C under first Roman. Even so, I thought I would turn around and take a look. No sooner had I turned than a fat snake wriggled over the back of the chair and landed on my shoulder. The snake's landing on me and my turnings were simultaneous. So what is meaning in the paragraph? He heard a dull thud sound at his back, so he wanted to turn back, and when he turned back, what did he see? What happened? A fat snake landed on his shoulder, and two actions happened at the same time. One action is his turning back. He turned backside and snake landed on him. These are the two actions that occurred simultaneously. Simultaneously means at the same time. Two things happened here, two actions happened. One, the doctor turning to backside, and second action is snake landed on his shoulder from the roof, from the slates of the roof. So two things happened at the same time. This is the theme of the given paragraph. Let us move on to the questions. First one, why did the narrator decide to turn around and take a look? Turn around means he wanted to look back. He wanted to search, he wanted to know what happened, why the dull thud sound came. That is why he wanted to take a look by turning backside. Right? Simple answer. He heard a dull thud sound from above. Actually, he had heard the same sound for 3 times, which we discussed in the lesson also. If the sounds were continuously coming, actually, initially he was not worried, he was not disappointed because of the sounds, because they are regular sounds, familiar sounds for the doctor. But when sounds were coming regularly, frequently, continuously, he decided to turn back and take a look. So simple answer for the first question is, as he heard sounds from above for 3 times, narrator decided to turn around and take a look. Second one, what do you mean by no sooner than? So it's an important phrase. I am going to explain now, just listen carefully. No sooner than. So it is a phrase. I am writing the meaning, the definition of this phrase, this conjunction. So it is used to convey that the second event the second event or action happens immediately after the first. Immediately after the first. Now observe carefully the written definition on the board. No sooner than meaning or definition. No sooner than is used to convey, is used to express that the second event or the second action happens immediately after the first. It means after the first event or first action. I will take an example from the given paragraph. See, observe carefully the given paragraph. See first line, last part. There is an example with this phrase. No sooner had I turned. Here I refers to doctor. No sooner had I turned. It means the doctor turned back. One action. What is second action? A fat snake, a thick snake wriggled over the back of the chair. It means it landed. It had fallen over the back of the chair. See, two actions happened. What is the first action? The doctor turned back. And the second action is the snake's landing at his backside. See, now observe the definition. This phrase is used to convey that the second action happens immediately after the first action. The doctor's turning back and the snake's landing at his backside happened immediately after one another. After one another, two actions. One action will immediately be followed by another action. If two actions happened next to next, immediately after the next action, then we use no sooner than. To understand better, I will tell you one more example so that it will be very clear for you in what case do we use no sooner than. I will write one more example. No sooner had I secured a job then everybody appreciated me. No sooner had I secured a job. Up to here one phrase. And the second phrase is then everybody appreciated me. It is not then, it is than. No sooner had I secured a job. Here also two actions are there. One action is I secured a job. I got a job because of my hard work, talent and capability. I got a job. This is the first occurred action, first finished action. Immediately after finishing the first action, the next action follows. The next action starts as soon as the first action is finished. See, I finished this action. Which action? I got a job. Immediately another action is being followed. What is that? Everybody appreciated me. Now my question, when did everybody appreciate me? As soon as I got the job or after I secured job, everybody appreciated me. Here two actions happened immediately, one another before the other action. See, before people appreciated me, I got a job. Or after I got a job, everybody appreciated me. Here the definition is fulfilled. It is used to convey that second event happens. What is the second event? Everybody appreciated me immediately after I got job. The first action is getting a job. So when the first action is finished, the second action happens. The first action is finished, getting a job is finished. Now the second action started, people started appreciating me. So no sooner had I went to or had I gone to house, then my father gave me a hug. Right? No sooner had I entered into exam hall, I was scared. It means as soon as you entered into examination hall, you were afraid of exam. So these are some best examples. No sooner had I entered into railway station, the train had left. Here first action is you entered into railway station, but the train was no longer there. Okay, so it is very simple. Second action will happen immediately after the first action. So two actions will happen with a short time gap, with a little time gap. This is the meaning. So immediately, as soon as, are simple meanings for the phrase no sooner than. Here from the passage also there is an example. No sooner had the doctor turned back, snake landed. So there is a short time gap. Immediately after he turned back, the snake landed him. So here also same. Immediately after I secured job, then everybody. See, second action is followed immediately after the first one. Immediately after the first action. So you have to understand carefully the meaning of no sooner than. Let us move on to the third question. Where did the snake land? Very simple answer. The snake landed on his shoulder or on homeopath doctor's shoulder. Let us move on to passage D. I felt the great presence of the creator of this world and this universe. God was there. Suppose I said something and he did not like it. I tried in my imagination to write in bright letters outside my little heart the words, "Oh God." Let us move on to first question. You have to imagine the situation here. See, the hood was just 4 inches away from his head. So hood and head are just side by side, right? The hood was just beside his head and the distance is just 4 inches. It means nearly 10 centimeters. And death lurked beside him. Now he was unable to escape from there. There was no chance of escaping because the snake was just next to him. He didn't tremble, he didn't shout, he didn't seek help from anybody, because if he does something actions like that, then definitely the snake would bite him. So he was simply sitting in his chair and he was remembering the God. He wanted to pray God, but he couldn't pray, because if he opens mouth, if he speaks anything for outward, then definitely snake will bite him. So in his imagination, in his thoughts, what was he doing? He was praying God without opening the mouth. In his mind, he was writing the letters. So he was not writing physically on a paper or on bench or in a book. In his minds, in his thoughts, in his imagination, he was praying God. How was he praying God? By writing the letters in his mind, not with his hand. Oh God, please save me. This was his inner feeling. Shall we start? Shall we begin the first question? Okay. Next paragraph, first question. Why did the speaker talk about God? So this was the first question in passage F under first one. So why did the speaker, it means doctor, mention God? Very simple. As we already know, there was a great threat for him and he was in danger. What was the danger? Death lurked beside his head. The snake was next to him and it may strike him, it may bite him at any moment, and he even doesn't know that. And he believed that God could only save him. That is why he mentioned God. That is why he was talking about God. He had no ideas and plans. He doesn't know how to avoid that situation, how to tolerate that. He didn't get any plans also in his mind. So at that time, in that dangerous time, he believed that God alone could save him, save his life. That is why he mentioned God and he prayed God in his mind, in his imagination. So that was possible answer for that first question. Let us move on. Second question in passage F. What did he try to do in his imagination? Just now I told, in his imagination the doctor tried to pray God. He wrote the letters, "Oh God," outside his heart, outside his little heart, he wrote the letters, "Oh God." Again and again I am telling, he did not write manually or physically on a paper or in a book. He wrote that in his mind, in his thoughts, in his imagination. Okay. Let us move on to the third one. Who is the creator of the world and creator of the universe according to doctor, according to the speaker? Very simple, God is answer. He was the creator of the world. Everybody believes that God created everything that we see on the earth. All planets, all solar system, all things, all living beings, non-living beings, everything were created by God, and everything in the universe, everything on the earth were created by God. Let us move on to the next page, next paragraph. Somebody asked doctor, again inverted commas, because speaker is one of the friends of doctor. He told his story with his friends, and friends were asking some doubts. See, initially doctor told that I would like to get a fat, rich woman doctor as my wife. He told like that. So after the end of the story, now friends got a doubt. Dear doctor, did you get a fat wife? Is your wife fat? So they were asking. Now first question, what did the doctor reply? So this was a question. One of the friends asked the doctor a question, is your wife fat? So what is doctor's answer for that question? That answer from doctor is answer for this question. Okay. So the doctor replied no. He replied negatively. No, I didn't get a fat wife. Instead of that, my wife is a very thin and reedy person. We discussed about the word reedy. Reedy means unpleasant person. It means doesn't look beautiful. And she was not even fat also. She was very thin. Actually, fat is opposite of thin, right? He desired for a fat wife, but God gifted him a thin wife. So he willed something, he thought something, but God has thought opposite to his thoughts, right? And she was an unpleasant person also. Who was an unpleasant person? The doctor's wife was an unpleasant or reedy person. Okay. Let us move on to the next question. What kind of wife did the doctor want? Very simple. Doctor wanted a rich, fat woman doctor who had a very good medical practice. She should be a good doctor. Good medical practice. So as he was a doctor, he desired a fellow doctor, a fellow woman doctor to be his wife, and that woman doctor should be rich and she should be fat. There is a reason also why does the doctor want fat wife, because if the doctor makes any silly mistake and wanted to run away, his wife could not be able to run behind him and catch him, right? Generally, if somebody makes mistake, then the nearby people will scold him, will beat him, but he does not want that. If he makes any mistake, he should not be scolded by his wife. So even if his wife wanted to beat him, or if his wife wanted to scold him, she should not be able to catch him, to punish him as he had done a mistake. So simple answer, if he made any mistake and wanted to run away, she should not be able to run behind him. That is the possible answer. That is why he desired for a fat woman. This is valid reason according to the doctor. There is no any special intention behind the doctor's thought. The only intention or purpose of desiring for a fat wife is she should not be able to run. If he gets a fat wife, can she run fast? Can she run quickly and catch him and beat him if he makes any mistake? No, she cannot run because she was fat. That is why he willed, he desired, he hoped that he would get a fat wife, but in fact he got thin and unpleasant. It means the person who was not that beautiful. Okay. And let us move on to second Roman, paragraph A. I heard a noise from above, it means from the roof, when he opened the door, as means when. I heard the noise from above when I opened the door. The sound was a familiar one, familiar sounds, the sounds that he used to hear frequently, often, not a new sound, not for the first time. Already earlier in his life, he had heard many times the same sound. Let us move on to the questions. The first question: who is the narrator of these lines? None other than the homeopath doctor. Second one: who else shared the room? It means not only the doctor, then who else, who all shared the room besides the doctor? Apart from doctor, he told himself that rats shared my room along with me. So answer is rats. Rats shared the room with the narrator. He also told that there was a regular traffic of rats in his room over the beams or pipes. So the rats travel from one side to other side through the pipes. Let us move on to passage B. I went back into the room and sat down on the chair. I opened the box beneath the table and took out a book which is titled, which is named Materia Medica. They have given media. It is not media actually, it is Medica, MEDICA. C is missing. Okay. So he went out of the room into the veranda to get a little air, but wind god seemed disappeared. He did not get any air there, so he went back into the room. This was the situation given in the paragraph. He went back into the room, he sat down, he resumed his sitting in the chair, and he opened the box. From where? From under the table. On the table there were many things: comb, lamp, mirror, but under the table there was a briefcase, and from that briefcase he opened, from the box he took out a book named Materia Medica. So what might be the book about? The book might be about the medicine or about giving treatment to the patients. This is possible answer. Let us move on to second question. What was the profession of the narrator? The profession of the narrator was doctor. He was a surgeon, right? Simply, he was a homeopath doctor. Giving treatment is his profession, right? Let us move on to the next passage. I made an important decision. Here the word I refers to doctor. Doctor made an important decision. Now the first question is I. So who is I? Who does the word I refer to? Very simple. I refers to homeopath doctor. And what was the decision made? What was the decision taken by the doctor? It is very simple. He wanted to shave daily and he wanted to grow a thin mustache. This was the decision made, and he had taken many other decisions also. He wanted to be looked more handsome. He wanted to maintain the attractive smile on his face, and he wanted to get married. These are also some important decisions. Okay, let us move on to the next paragraph. Paragraph D. There was some pain in my left arm. It was like, as if means like, it was like a thick leaden rod. No, a rod made of molten fire was slowly but powerfully crushing my arm. The arm was beginning to be drained of all strength. What could I do? I cannot do anything. I am in a helpless, hopeless condition and situation. Who is there to help me out? Nobody is there. See, the doctor was getting pain above the elbow at his left arm. Why? Because the snake has coiled his left arm above the elbow and it is crushing. Crushing means grinding. Who is grinding? The snake is powerfully crushing, pressing, we can say like that also, pressing and grinding his hand. So he was getting pain and he lost all his strength and energy also. Even he does not have strength to lift his hand or to move his left arm. So in that hopeless condition, what could he do? So he was not dare enough to do anything, and he does not have any idea also how to handle, how to tackle the situation. So first question, who was in a delicate situation? Here delicate means not soft or smooth. Here delicate means a dangerous threat So, who is in dangerous situation? Who has a threat? A very simple answer, homeopath doctor. So, what drained all his strength? See, what is the reason for losing the strength, for losing the energy in his left arm? The snake. The snake is the reason. The snake slowly but powerfully, vigorously, it is crushing his arm. So his hand was drained all his strength. Let us move on to last paragraph in page number 30. The doctor said, "My vest, the dirty one." The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. So here, when he went away, when he ran away from his room to his friend's house, see, the doctor continuously, with all his strength, he ran away and he applied oil all over the body. He took a fresh bath, he changed into new clothes, and the next morning, with 3 or 4 friends, he came back to his room and he found there is nothing but his vest, his old dirty vest was hanging still on the wall. See, when he saw his vest, he started scolding the thief because he had stolen everything. Most of the things were removed by the stolen, but he left the vest because it is very dirty and murky. It was not washed for a long time. See, the thief also did not want to take that dirty vest because it is such dirtiest thing. Okay, that is why he was scolding. Oh, he was a man with a sense of cleanliness. He is also wants to be clean. He also wants to be neat, tidier, right? That is why he scolded. He could have taken that. He could have washed it with soap and water, and then he could have worn the vest, but he did not take the vest along with him. Vest fellow, rascal. He was scolding like that, right? Let us move on to the first question. The fellow had such a sense of cleanliness. Who is the fellow? The fellow here referred is the thief. Let us move on to the second one. Is the doctor praising the fellow? He was not praising. Though he prefers to be clean, though the thief was maintaining cleanliness, he was not scolding because it was like insulting the doctor. The thief had indirectly insulted the doctor by leaving his dirty vest there. See, what did it mean? The doctor thought that, oh, these many days I had worn the dirty vest, but thief also did not want to wear the same dirty vest which I have worn these many days. Am I such dirty fellow? Am I that much dirty fellow? Don't I have cleanliness? So he felt like that, and he felt very shameful and guilty, right? That is why he started scolding thief. Okay, let us move on to the next one. Okay, children, let us begin paragraph questions in workbook. For the lesson, the duck and the kangaroo, or you can pronounce it as kangaroo also. It is reading B of our unit 1, Humour. So hope you have gone through the lesson and hope you have gone through the explanations for the questions that are given at the end of the lesson in the textbook. Now this is the time to discuss about paragraph questions in workbook. Open your workbooks as I read the first stanza. It is a poem, right? Duck made many requests with kangaroo, and kangaroo raised some objections. After the objections are overruled, after giving solutions by the duck, then kangaroo accepted to offer a ride to the duck on his back, and they went beyond the world. They saw different places, and in the single day they traveled the whole world for 3 times. It was mentioned in the lesson. They enjoyed a lot and very happily. They felt joyously. They were very delighted. Okay, so let us move on to the paragraphs. The first one. Said the duck to the kangaroo, "Good gracious, how you hop over the fields and the water too, as if you never would stop. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you," said the duck to the kangaroo. So this was the first stanza in the text. Good gracious means to be surprised. See, kangaroo's ability is to jump, and when the duck saw kangaroos jumping for a very long distance, it covers a very long distance in a single jump. When duck saw that, it felt very surprised. It felt that it was very amazing. Who felt very amazing? The duck felt it was very amazing. What was very amazing? The kangaroo's jump. It can jump over a very long distance of 6 feet to 10 feet at a time in single jump. That is why duck felt very surprised, amazed, astonished. Let us move on. Over the fields, who was jumping? Kangaroo. Over the water, like it never stops his jumping. But my life is bore. Whose life? Duck's life is bore in the nasty pond, the dirty pond. Why did the duck say that the pond in which it is living was dirty? Because it was not at all dirty, it was nice, but for too long time, for many days, for much time, the duck was living in the same pond. That is why he got bored. It got bored in his life. So what was the desire? I long. Long means desire, wish. I wish. Who wishes? The duck wishes to go out in the world. It wanted to see different places. And there is one more wish also. I wish to hop like you, to jump like kangaroo, said the duck to the kangaroo. First question. What did the duck ask the kangaroo? So here in this paragraph, the duck did not ask anything, but the duck requested to go out in the world beyond and to hop like kangaroo. How did the duck want to overcome boredom? See, boring, to feel bore is adjective, and the noun form of bore is boredom, right? Kingdom, right? In the same way, boredom. So it felt very boring in the nasty pond, but now the duck no longer wants to live in the same pond. What did the duck want? It had planned to overcome, to surpass the boredom. How? It wanted to go beyond the world. It wanted to explore different places. By doing that, it wanted to overcome the boredom. He did not want to feel bored any longer. So how can he overcome? How can the duck overcome? By visiting different places. See, when duck visits different places, he no longer will feel bored in his life. So that was the plan of the duck. Third one, what did the duck wish? There are two wishes. One, the first wish is the duck wanted to go in the world beyond. It means it wanted to see more places, different places, exciting places in the world. And one more wish is the duck wanted to hop like kangaroo. Let us move on to passage B. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you, said the duck to the kangaroo. So whose life is a bore and why? So very simple answer. Duck's life is bore. Duck felt very boring. It got bored in its life. Why? Because it was living in a nasty pond for too long time, for a very long period of time. What is its desire? Again, same question. The duck's desire is to go beyond the world, to see different places in the world, to tour the world simply. And second desire is it wanted to hop, jump like kangaroo. Let us move on to paragraph C. Please give me a ride on your back, said the duck to the kangaroo. I would sit quite still and say nothing but quack the whole of the day long through, and we would go to the Dee and Jelly Bolly, over the land and over the sea. Please take me a ride, oh do. Okay, the first question under the paragraph. What is the request of the duck to the kangaroo? You can see the request from the last, the second line from last. What's there? Please take me a ride. So the word please indicates request. If we would like to make any request with somebody, we would use that word, please. Please help me. Please give me your pencil. So here also the duck requests kangaroo to offer a ride to him, to the duck. So the request of the duck to the kangaroo is it wanted a ride from the kangaroo. The duck requested the kangaroo to give a ride on his back. This is the correct, accurate answer. The second one, what does the expression quack refer to? So quack refers to the sound made by ducks. Third one, what does this stanza describe? So the whole stanza describes about the duck's desire to go beyond the world. So it is the only purpose of giving that stanza in the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo. Let us move on to the next page where you can find the fourth stanza, fourth paragraph. As I read, look into the books. My life is a bore in this nasty pond, and I long to go out in the world beyond. I wish I could hop like you, said the duck to the kangaroo. First one, whose life is mentioned in the above? So obviously and undoubtedly answer is the duck's life is mentioned in the above lines, in the above stanza. Second one, from which poem these lines are taken? So this is the answer, right? From the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo, the above stanza is taken. The above lines are taken from the poem The Duck and the Kangaroo. Let us move on to the next paragraph, that is paragraph B. What is there? And there seems but one objection, which is, if you will let me speak so boldly, your feet are unpleasantly wet and cold and would probably give me the rheumatism, said the kangaroo. So here in the given lines, in the given paragraph, we can clearly understand that though kangaroo wanted to offer a ride to the duck, it raised some objections. Kangaroo told some objections. What is that objection? My dear duck, I would like to give a ride to you, but your feet are wet. Why were duck's feet wet? Because the whole day, throughout his lifespan, the duck was living in the nasty pond. What will be there in the pond? Water. So when it continuously stays in the water, then definitely duck's feet will become wet and cold. See, with that wet feet, with that cold feet, if duck sits on kangaroo's back, then kangaroo will get a disease named rheumatism. Rheumatism is nothing but muscles and joints pain. So who will get that? Kangaroo. So I will get rheumatism if you sit with wet and cold feet. So if you can resolve my objection, if you can overrule my objection, then I am ready to give you a ride, to offer you a ride. This was the paragraph. Let us move on to the questions. The first one, why does the kangaroo object to take the duck? To take the duck is nothing but, why did the kangaroo object to offer a ride, to give a ride to the duck? Because kangaroo would get rheumatism if duck sits on his back with wet and cold feet. Let us move on to the second one. Why is the kangaroo scared? Scared means afraid or frightened of the duck's feet. Very simple answer. The kangaroo was scared of the duck's feet because the duck's feet were unpleasantly wet and cold because it stayed its whole life in the water, in the pond. Let us move on to the paragraph C. Said the kangaroo, I am ready, all in the moonlight pale, but to balance me well, dear duck, sit steady and quiet at the end of my tail. So what is the concept in the given lines? I am ready. So when the objection was overruled by the duck, kangaroo raised an objection and duck gave many solutions, that it bought 4 pairs of worsted woolen socks and cloak, and he decided to smoke a cigar a day. These are the solutions given by the duck to the kangaroo, and when he heard the solutions, he thought that it would be better and he decided that he would not get rheumatism also. So he said, I am ready. And early in the morning, moonlight pale means when moonlight will disappear. So in the early morning. So early in the morning they started to tour the world, to go beyond the world, to explore different places. But to balance me well, here kangaroo is directing the duck. It is giving some instructions. Sit at the end of my tail and sit still without movement. Sit quietly at the end of my tail. First question, why does the kangaroo ask the dear duck to sit steady? Very simple, answer is in third line, to balance. The kangaroo requested the duck to sit steady at the end of the tail because to balance well. Let us move on to the second one. What is the antonym of balance? So the antonym of balance is nothing but imbalance. If you can add 2 letters before the word, that will be the antonym of balance. See, balance and imbalance. This is the root word balance. We just added 2 letters before the word. Such type of words are called even prefixes also. It is a grammar point. Make a note of it. Which words are called as prefix? If you add some letters before the original word, before the main root word, then those words are called prefixes. So this word is said to be prefix, imbalance, right? Okay, students, at this moment right away I would like to start paragraph questions which are given in the workbook. So open your workbooks, page number 32, where you can find paragraph questions for reading C, Little Bobby. Hope you are aware of the lesson because I have explained very clearly and you have gone through the video also. There was a boy named Bobby who was a troublemaker, and he planned that he should get bike at any cost for his birthday. So when his birthday was in near future, when his birthday was coming up, he went to his mother and asked for a bike, but she told that he doesn't deserve a bike. If you feel you deserve a bike, then go and write a letter to God. She advised him, and he went into his room, which is in the first floor, and he started writing letters, 4 letters. In first letter he claimed that he was a very good boy, but that was not true, so he tore up the letter. And in the second letter he claimed that he was a good boy, and he tore up that letter as well because that was also not true. And in third letter he claimed himself that he was an okay boy, and even though he wrote the letter, he realized that this letter will not fetch him, will not get him a bike, and he could not send that letter to God. And in fourth letter he also wrote that he was not a very good boy, so he repented, he accepted, he admitted the truth. Dear God, I have not been a good boy, I am a very bad boy the last year, so please, I will be a good boy if you give me a bike. He has put in some conditions to the God. If and only if God gives him a bike, then he will behave in a good way. If God doesn't give, then he will not behave in a good way. He will continue to be a troublemaker. And in fourth letter, he went to a church which is in the corner of the street. He went into the church, he looked around if anyone was there, and when nobody was there, he confirmed that there was nobody, and immediately he picked up the small statue of Mary, who is the mother of God, and he hid that under his shirt. He came to his room and he started writing the fifth letter, where he wrote that, Dear God, I have kidnapped your mother. If you want to see your mother, just please give me a red bike, otherwise I will not send your mother home. So he threatened God, he bullied God to send a bike. So kidnapping nature, he has that nature in his mind. That is why he often gets into troubles in school as well as in home. So this was the lesson summary. Let us move on to first paragraph. Then write a letter to God and tell him why you deserve a bike for your birthday. So who is the speaker of this line? The first question. Obviously, little Bobby's mother is the speaker, because when she was making dinner in the kitchen, he went into the room and he asked for a bike. When he asked for a bike, she told the same. So if you feel that you are deserved, you have that qualification, you have that eligibility to get a bike, then go to your room and write a letter to God. She advised him. So speaker is little Bobby's mother. Second question. Why did the speaker ask the other to do so? Ask the other means ask her son, ask little Bobby. Why did mother ask little Bobby to write a letter? Because she wanted to make him realize his behavior. He was actually a troublemaker. Many times little Bobby's mother tried to rectify his behavior, tried to correct him, but he did not change his behavior. So this time she felt that it was the right opportunity to change his behavior. That is why she asked him to write letters to God, so that in that way he could realize his original behavior. Third one. What was the gift asked for birthday? So obviously a bike, especially a red bike. Let us move on to the next page, where you can find the next paragraph, B, from the same lesson. So his birthday was coming up and he thought that it was a good time to tell his mother what he wanted. So what does he want? In fact, he wanted a red bike. So this was the suitable time, correct time. What was the suitable time? The time when his birthday was nearing, in near future. Let us move on to the first question. Whose birthday was coming up in very near future? Obviously, little Bobby's birthday was coming up. Let us move on next further. What did he want to tell his mother? He wanted to tell his mother that he would like to have bike as his birthday gift. Next, let us move on to the third one. What kind of boy was he? He was a troublemaker, as I already told many times. Troublemaker is one who often causes troubles or creates problems in school or in home or in any place where he presents. Let us move on to the next question. Next paragraph. It is letter 1. So in letter 1 he claimed that he was a very good boy, which is not his real behavior. Dear God, I have been a very good boy this year. This means the last year. And I would like to get a bike for my birthday. So he claimed that as he was a very good boy, he wanted a bike. That was his qualification. What was his qualification? According to him, according to Bobby, why he deserves a bike? He told that as he was a good boy, he felt that he deserves to get a bike as gift for his birthday. So he lied with God. Bobby knew that this was not true. Which was not true? The letter in which he claimed that he was a very good boy was not true. He had not been a good boy. So he tore up the letter. He destroyed. He split into 2 pieces and he started writing another letter. Let us move on to first question. What kind of a boy was Bobby that year? Actually, 2 possible answers are there for this question. As per the letter written by Bobby, or according to Bobby, he was a very good boy because he wrote the same in the letter. He claimed the same in the letter. But in reality, indeed, he was a troublemaker. He was a bad boy. So you have to write both the answers because the question is not that clear here. According to Bobby or according to his real behavior. There are 2 answers. According to Bobby, he was a very good boy, and as per his real behavior, indeed, in fact, in reality, he was a very bad boy. So write both answers for that question. Let us move on to the second question. Why did Bobby tear up the letters? Here, tore, torn. These are the 3 forms of that verb. Make a note of it. So why did he split the letter into 2 pieces? He destroyed and spoiled the letter because he realized that he was not a very good boy. He lied with God. So he tore up the letter and started writing another letter. Let us move on to the next question. What was the red bike mentioned in the passage? Actually, it is a meaningless question. There is no meaning for that question. So instead of the WH word what, use why. That will be the correct question. Why was the red bike mentioned in the passage? So Bobby mentioned red bike, 2 words in the letter. Why did he mention? Because he wanted a red bike as his birthday gift. As gift for his birthday, so it was mentioned in the passage. So answer is very clear. Little Bobby wanted a red bike for his birthday as gift. So it was mentioned in the passage. He mentioned that in the letter which he wrote to God. Let us move on to the 6th one, A passage. Dear God, I have been a very good boy this year and I would like to have, or I would like a bike for my birthday. I want a red one. Your friend Bobby. That is the subscription. Whenever we write letters, we also write subscription at the end of the letter, right? So who is the writer? By seeing the subscription, we can find the writer of the letter. So subscription is Bobby and the writer of the letter is also Bobby. First question, what present did he want for his birthday? Here the word present means not to attend in a place, not to attend to a meeting or to a school or somewhere, to an event. Here present means gift. The word present means gift. It is a homonym. Homonyms means 2 words which are same in spelling, same in sound but different in meaning, right? Present means attending somewhere. I am present, sir. You will tell attendance in school. Present means you attended to school. That is one meaning. And another meaning of present is gift. See, both words contain same spellings. To attend to school, present, spelling is same. gift meaning present, spelling is same, and the way we pronounce is also same. We pronounce both the words in the same sound, present, but meanings are different. Here gift, there to attend an event or to attend a place in purpose of something. Such type of words are called homonyms. Homonyms are the words which are same in spellings and sounds but different in meanings. Okay. Alright, let us move on to the question. What present did Bobby want for his birthday? So he wanted a red bike as a present for his birthday. And second question, what kind of boy was the speaker? So here again two possible answers. According to him, he was a very good boy, but indeed, in reality, he was a troublemaker. He was a very bad boy. Let us move on to passage B. Bobby's mother thought that her plan had worked as Bobby looked very sad. Just be home in time for dinner, Bobby's mother told him. So here when he wrote 4 letters, he was not satisfied. He realized that these letters would not bring or would not get him bike. So he came to kitchen again where his mother was making dinner, and he told that he wanted to go to church. So he was looking sad. As he was looking sad, his mother thought that, yeah, he realized his behavior, his real behavior. But in fact, he did not realize. He planned something. What did he plan? To go to church and kidnap the statue of Mary, who is the mother of God. That was his plan. He was sad because he did not get bike through that letters. But she thought that he was looking sad because he realized, he repented his behavior. So he did not repent at all. Let us move on to the questions. Who looked very sad? Little Bobby looked very sad because he did not get a bike through the letters which he wrote to God. Second question. What did Bobby's mother tell him? Bobby's mother told him to be in home in time for dinner. Why did she say so? Because Bobby asked permission to go to church, which is at the corner of the street, at the end of the street. When he asked permission, she admitted his permission. She gave permission. She granted permission and told an advice, gave an instruction to come back home. See, you can go to church, but come back to home in time to have your dinner, to have your night meals. So that is why, that is what Bobby's mother told him when he asked for permission to go to the church. Let us move on to the last passage of this reading C, that is paragraph C. He looked around to see if anyone was there. Bobby bent down and he picked up a small statue of Mary, the mother of God. So this incident, the given paragraph, took place in church. He went up to the altar. Altar means a raised floor where pastors, the church fathers, will stand and preach the congregation. Okay, they will address the congregation. They will address the people who attended the church. So he went up to the altar and he looked, he searched around if there was somebody, and he finalized that there was nobody, and he kidnapped the statue of Mary, the mother of God. So first question, what did Bobby pick up? The word pick means to take. So what did he take? He took the statue, the idol of Mary. Who is Mary? Actually they gave Mary. It is not Mary actually, it is just Mary. So just strike out one R. So who is Mary? Mary is none other than the mother of Jesus Christ. So these are possible answers. Hope you will go through this video again, try to understand and write answers on your own. Do not copy. Don't just listen one question and copy that answer. Again listening video and writing answer. If you do so, there will be of no use for you. So try everything on your own. It will benefit a lot for you in future. Hopefully let us meet in the next class with another topic for discussion.